With Portillo's, hot dogs became hotter. But the business's story is spicier than some of its offerings. What Dick Portillo began as an unprofitable business in 1963 became a company that he sold for $1 billion. And this is how he did it. Richard Dick Portillo founded Portillo's, and it wasn't something he originally planned to do. Born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, the founder dealt with extreme poverty with his siblings and parents. His family couldn't afford a house and had to stay in Chicago public housing for much of his childhood. While the living accommodations were abysmal, Dick learned a skill that would serve him well later in life. He learned to save, and coupled with the discipline and taking responsibility that he learned from his dad, his future in the Army was set. But before then, things got better for Dick and his family, and they moved out of public housing. The family moved to the southern suburbs where Dick completed his high school education in 1957. After graduation, the founder joined the Marines and soon got into trouble. Dick tried to nurture his entrepreneurial instincts by creating an illegal business in the Army. He was stationed as a Marine near San Diego, where he and a friend ran an illegal business of transporting soldiers to Tijuana and returning them for $20. Then things got messy. While on one of their trips, Dick ran a stop sign and hit another driver. Portillo lost composure and ran away. However, he wouldn't run for long. Just as he reached the border, the authorities caught up with him. Things then took an even worse turn. While at the Tijuana police station, Portillo tried to bribe an officer there. When that didn't work, Dick threatened the officer, who answered by locking Dick up. The founder remained in his cell for almost 2 days. Portillo eventually finished his service in the Army and returned to Chicago. He returned with a mission, and the first one was marrying his high school sweetheart, Sharon. To make ends meet, Portillo worked different part-time jobs, but that wasn't the type of life he wanted. The founder had a dream: hot dogs. Dick had a vision of selling hot dogs, but there was a problem: money. It wasn't that he didn't have it. He had $1,100 of it, but to use the money, he had to betray his wife. The founder had promised his wife he would use it to get a house for them, but he had to break the promise. To convince his wife, Portillo met her mother to help him talk to her about investing their house money in a hot dog business. You could guess Sharon's reaction. Of course, she wasn't happy. What Dick planned was an incredibly risky venture, but despite her reservations, she supported him. However, Dick still wasn't ready to go. He still needed more money, and he got it from his older brother Frank, who invested in Dick's business. Portillo managed to buy an old trailer for his business despite it not having running water or a restroom. The founder didn't care. He was one step closer to his dream, and nothing could ruin it for him. To solve his water problem, he used a hose to run water into the trailer. Dick named his business the Doghouse, and it took off in 1963. He then parked his trailer at a shopping center at North Avenue in Villa Park, Illinois, which a local businessman, Harold Reskin, owned. The business began with a limited menu of hot dogs and fries, tamales, and soda pop. Sales didn't match Dick's enthusiasm. Despite him and his wife putting in long hours in their trailer, business was slow. The reason for their lack of sales was simple: Dick's hot dogs sucked. He had absolutely no idea how to make hot dogs. His hot dogs were usually overcooked. He burnt the buns or made the sandwich too dry. There was also the problem of getting materials. The founder had to get from local suppliers, which made it impossible for him to make money from the hot dogs he sold. Things continued to worsen, and his wife gave up, suggesting that her husband should sell. And if you like to learn about the history of your favorite eateries, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Portillo refused. He wouldn't sell his business, but he admitted things were dire. Then an idea struck him. The founder decided to steal. He went to a competitor's, but he didn't intend to just buy their hot dogs. He wanted to know how they made theirs. So he snuck to the competitor's back room and went through his ingredients and recipe. While he was searching, he found something that would save his business. Portillo saw where his competitor bought his ingredients. With this new knowledge, Dick was confident he would succeed. He began to get his ingredients wholesale and cooked them properly, too. He had a mission of making his business the best in the area, and within 5 months, things turned around. The founder repaid his brother's loan to become the business's sole owner, and things really began to take off. After a few more ups and downs, Dick's business finally hit consistent profits in 1967, and a whole new goal came to his mind. He wanted to expand. Approaching Harold Reskin, the founder got a bigger trailer and stopped using the name the Doghouse and renamed it Portillo's. In 1969, Dick didn't want to stop at getting a bigger trailer and went to meet with Harold Reskin, who helped Dick finance a freestanding store with a counter and a kitchen. However, customers didn't have tables and chairs. In 1970, Reskin allowed the founder to further expand the business by letting him open a store in his mall. The new locations became a hit locally, and things became even better. Not content with his number of stores, the owner chased further expansion using profits and bank loans. He was keen to have full control of his business. In 1983, the company hoped to have one up over its competitors by creating drive-thrus. While he ran Portillo's, the founder still had the resources to create other restaurant businesses. He began by creating Barney's in 1989, which specialized in barbecue offerings, which he would later combine with the hot dog business in the 90s. In that same period, the hot dog chain had 25 stores in Chicago, and he also opened another restaurant, K. Wester Fish and Pasta, which offered seafood. Still in the 90s, the business did the unexpected. It went abroad, specifically Japan, where it opened a few stores even if they would eventually close down due to quality problems. You could say the Japanese store didn't understand the Chicago style the business used to prepare its meals. However, having didn't mean that the company didn't evolve. The chain evolved from its boring offering to include 6 variations of hot dogs, which started from the classic to jumbo, with Vienna beef supplying the beef for the hot dogs. Customers could choose between normal to Polish sausage, which is fancy for a dog layered with chili or cheese or pickles and peppers. According to NBC, the business has about 127 possible combinations of toppings, but most customers favor the Chicago style. The company's Chicago style was to serve a beef frankfurter on a steamed poppy seed bun. The toppings on the Chicago style are yellow mustard, relish, onions, tomatoes, pickles, sports peppers, and celery salt. Despite the success of the dogs, Portillo's proved it wasn't all about them. Apart from merging its barbecue arm, Barney's, the company also created the Italian beef, a sandwich that originated in Chicago's meatpacking district. This sandwich was a staple of Italian immigrants who slow-cooked tougher beef cuts in seasoned broth. Keen to make its business an all-things Chicago, the hot dog joint served the sandwich with hot gardenia or sweet green. The chain also devised means to give their customers the best experience. The business used tech to ensure customer satisfaction, and one of the ways it did this was to pioneer the use of order takers with headsets. The headset helped the business attend to customers at the drive-thru faster by providing customers with headsets that sent orders straight to the kitchen. In addition to the drive-thru tech, the company had exciting ways to make customers picking their orders feel special. This allowed the chain to build a personal bond with customers. The chain continued to expand in western and northern Chicago suburbs, and after it had dominated those places, it set its sights in unfamiliar territories. What it discovered shocked it. In those areas, the business was unknown, and it was all its fault. The company, unlike others, never had a major advertisement campaign, so people outside its sphere of influence haven't heard about it. Dick decided to rectify this by going on an ad campaign, which hit the screens and radio in 2004. The strategy worked, and the business decided to expand out of Chicago. Dick decided to take his chain to Southern California at the Buena Park Downtown Shopping Center. He then opened another store in 2008 in Moreno Valley. Eventually, after years of resisting and despite many offers, Dick sold his business to Berkshire for $1 billion in 2014. He revealed he did it because Berkshire had no restaurants in their portfolio. The new owners set to work. They went public and continued to expand. In 2016, the business opened another location in Florida and surprisingly formed a bond with the people from Florida by trolling them. As a Chicago chain, the brand supported its hometown NHL team, the Chicago Blackhawks, to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. Afterward, the business said, "No matter whose jersey you're wearing, everyone will be welcome." Ouch. Sorry, Florida. As of this moment, the hot dog business still has big plans. There's more to come from the chain that failed before it succeeded. Portillo's has done the impossible. After suffering initially and not turning a profit for a while, the business managed to turn things around and become a serious player in the fast food market. But should the owner have sold the business to Berkshire? Or should he have continued to run it? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to support our channel.